So I'm back. So this Carib Sea Reef Rock, or Carib Sea Life Rock, I like it in the sense that I have had no pest or dealing with any of the issues you have when you have actual live rock. But it does fade. The colors do kind of fade. Other algae do get on top of their painted look. If you scrub your rocks, the color comes off. So I'm not too crazy about it for that. But once the coralline starts to take off, and I think it will, because now I've seeded the tank a lot from my other tank, and that has some purplish type Fiji rock, and I also bought a nice piece I put in my other tank of rock, and you can see it right there. It has a lot of coralline algae on it, and that's one fragment of it. And I also scraped off a whole bunch, and you can see it scattered on the ground in the tank. It probably blew off the rocks already. And in some areas, like right there, I think that might actually be coralline algae, but I'm not really sure. We'll see how it goes in the next few weeks. That lawnmower Blenny is doing pretty well. Here's one of the clowns that hangs out in his little vase, whatever I call it here, candle holder. If you don't own this kind of duo, you really should. It's really fun to watch. There's a piece of coralline algae that they're using as part of their hole. So hopefully, I don't really have to clean my glass that much. So I do have like some green algae along the bottom, which I just couldn't get when I did my major cleaning a few months back. But it hasn't really gotten any worse, so I'm okay with it. The Blenny kind of eats some of it. And I'll show you what I have going on in the back here. So I have this reef glass, which works pretty well. I have the pump for it connected outside, so I'm bringing in some outside air, which might help keep my pH stable. I just run filter floss on this here, which is just in there like that, and underneath that is a cage of ceramic balls. I guess they're called ceramic. I forgot what they call them. You can get them from BRS, but they're all in a cage, and there's a space underneath. This cable's in the way. There's some space underneath there. I can put something underneath if I wanted to. And so that's some filtration there, biofiltration. And I'm gonna keep this out because I'm gonna clean that off. I've been feeding a lot since I got these clowns about a month ago, just keeping them nice and fat. I didn't find food that they really like, but they really like the small pellets. I'll do another video on that, those pellets. And in here I just have nothing, just some sponges in there, because sometimes I'll put a sponge here, but I'll use those sponges maybe to seed another aquarium or whatever, I don't know. They're just in there. And then underneath that rack that you see down there, there's room for something else. And in this cage, this chamber, I had my refugium with the light on the back, and I also put light here. And I just had a big growth of a lot of hair algae, and I had to keep cleaning that. And sometimes a chaeto would grow rapidly, and then sometimes a chaeto would slow down. So it's kind of like a lot of learning curve with it, but I've seen so many systems that just run fine on their own, like the other system that I have, where there's not an ounce of algae besides coralline algae, and I barely change the water, and it does fine. It's just algae free after a while. That's the way these tanks get. And then here's where the pump is housed, using the original pump that came with the Fluval system. So it's not really pumping out that much, but I think it's fine. The top off, as you can see those electrodes there, this is a top off called Innovative Marine Hydrofill Titanium. I highly recommend it. It has given me almost zero problems. It's very reliable. It hooks up to an Aqualifter pump. You'd have to like maybe I put a small 5-gallon sump here where it draws the RO water out of, and it works pretty well. And I have a lid here where I can take it off and pour jugs, 1-gallon jugs of water in there. The pump doesn't lift that high, so you got to kind of limit it to like 3 feet. And I'm gonna stop this video here and upload it, and then I'll do another one.